Which movies are fans dying to see? Which movies are we expecting from Marvel in the following year? And which Marvel movie frustrated the leading star? Here are the best upcoming Marvel movies of 2022 and 2023.
The quantum realm is a reality where all concepts of time become irrelevant. Concepts of time.
Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne are going to be diving deep into the quantum realm in the 31st movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They are going to be joined by Hope's parents, Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym, the man who invented the Pym particle himself. The movie is set to hit theaters at the beginning of the following year, on February 17, 2023. The Marvel movie is going to be directed, or was directed, by Peyton Reed and developed based on the storyline written by Jeff Loveness. Of course, the movie's producer is none other than Kevin Feige. The movie that's going to turn Ant-Man into a trilogy was announced back in 2019. Back then, the director and the leading actor were set to return to the movie, and in 2020, they hired a screenwriter. That same year in December, Marvel announced the title of the movie, and they even announced the cast members. Everything was filmed in Turkey, which began in February of 2021 and continued until the end of July that same year. Aside from filming in Turkey, they also had some shots in San Francisco. With the release of the movie, Marvel will begin Phase 5 of the MCU. Since we've talked about the plot and the development a little, the actors in the movie will be familiar faces. Paul Rudd will reprise his role as Scott Lang. Evangeline Lilly will play Hope Van Dyne again, while Michael Douglas will be smashing that like button just like you should if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, he will be playing Hank Pym. Janet Van Dyne, Scott Lang's mother, will be played by Michelle Pfeiffer, and the adversary of the whole movie will be none other than Kang the Conqueror, who will be played by Jonathan Majors. With the first movie of its kind, The Marvels is definitely going to shatter the status quo once and for all. This is the first movie where all three main characters are female, the director is a woman, and the screenplay has been written by a woman. Honestly, we've never seen this before, which is part of the reason we're so excited to see how this movie turns out. To explain it briefly, Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau are going to find themselves in a tricky situation. Every time one lady uses their powers, they swap places with one another. They need to figure out why this is and do it quickly because the fate of the world rests on their shoulders. In a recent interview, the three actresses Brie Larson, Iman Vellani, and Teyana Paris have said how wonderful it is that they get to work together to save the world. Aside from these three, the movie will also star Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury. Initially, they thought that filming would begin in May of 2021, but it began in August after being postponed for several months. The movie was shot at Pinewood Studios in England. While they were in England, Samuel L. Jackson was there shooting scenes for his upcoming MCU series titled Secret Invasion, and that's when he announced that he would be reprising his role as Nick Fury in The Marvels. Filming then continued in Tropea, Italy. They also shot some scenes right off the coast of the Tyrrhenian Sea, and after that, filming resumed in Los Angeles. At first, it was believed that the movie would be released much sooner, but with the delays in filming, it was postponed. Hoping that they will keep this release date, the movie will hit theaters on July 28, 2023. Number 2. Guardians of the Galaxy. During Comic-Con 2022, a lot of things were revealed about the movie, but they never released the trailer to the public. Well, after some careful digging around, we've managed to find it, and boy, is it a lot to unpack. First of all, we should tell you that this movie is going to take place after the events of Avengers Endgame. Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, is still mourning the loss of Gamora, the love of his life. This leaves him emotional and therefore vulnerable. In turn, that exposes the team to unnecessary attacks. So, who is going to be delivering these attacks? Well, we know from the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie that the Golden High Priestess, Aisha, has created Adam Warlock. He is a powerful being whose sole purpose for existence is to destroy the Guardians. On top of that, we're going to meet High Evolutionary. When talking about his character, actor Chuck Woody said that this character belongs to a special race, and he describes him as narcissistic, sociopathic, but very charming. So it could be that the Guardians would be facing a double threat. As if that wasn't enough, we are also going to get Sylvester Stallone. Yes, Rocky Balboa is now going to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he will play Stakar Ogard, a high-ranking Ravager, along with Sean Gunn, who will be playing Foundry, another Ravager. However, all of that paled in comparison with what we're about to say. Star-Lord finds out Gamora is not dead for some strange reason. Maybe it's because he's hallucinating, but Star-Lord saw Gamora in front of him. So yes, Zoe Saldana will reprise her role. As for the rest of the cast, almost all of them will reprise their roles, and James Gunn will still be the film's director, even though they fired and rehired him again. So we will see Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, Bradley Cooper, Karen Gillan, and Palm Clementif again. Let's just hope that there are no more surprises before May 5th, 2023, because this is a lot to take on as it is. The movie is ready, the trailer is playing. Now the only thing left is for us to wait for November 11th, 2022, which is only a few months down the road. The trailer has managed to receive 39 million views and 1.4 million likes. So it's obvious that the supporters of Wakanda are present and waiting. So now the question becomes, will they like the screenplay by Joe Robert Cole and Ryan Coogler? From what we've seen in the trailer, we're going to more than like it. There is a new world order taking place in Wakanda, and it's all because of the untimely passing of Chadwick Boseman, aka the Black Panther. Since the actor died of colon cancer in 2020, they have decided not to recast the role of T'Challa. Instead, the director and the screenwriter decided to embrace the passing of Chadwick Boseman, who played T'Challa. Instead of downplaying the loss, they featured it in the movie. T'Challa has passed away. They are mourning the loss of a great leader, while Shuri, Nakia, Okoye, and Ramonda are mourning the loss of their beloved son. Invaders are trying to rip the kingdom of Wakanda apart. Now, interestingly enough, we should point out that a new character will be making an appearance in the show. Her name is Riri Williams, and she is a young genius who creates a suit of armor, just like that of Tony Stark. In the comics, she's the one that replaces Tony Stark and takes on the mantle. This little character is known as Ironheart, and she will be played by Dominique Thorne. Speaking of actors, Letitia Wright will reprise the role of Shuri, which has been given a lot more significance after the death of Chadwick. Later, we have Denai Guerrera smashing that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell. But no, we have Denai Guerrera playing Okoye. Lupita Nyong'o will still play Nakia. Winston Duke will be leading the Mountain Tribe as M'Baku. Angela Bassett will play Ramonda. And of course, Martin Freeman will come back as Everett K. Ross. Honestly, I can't wait for November to roll around. Check out these new videos next.